Hello everyone and welcome to this video where today we'll be looking at how to set up a multi-agent architecture on AWS. So we'll see on Bedrock how to set up a collaborator agent, how to have supervisor agent, and how to set up the prompts so that the supervisor agent can orchestrate between the multiple collaborator agents underneath it. Okay, so let's get started. First, I'd like to explain about the multi-agent architecture. So essentially, we have a user. Okay, the user will ask a question, or basically, this is going to be our prompt or a query. Okay, and so this query or prompt will go into a supervisor agent. Now the role of a supervisor agent is to orchestrate between multiple other agents underneath it. So in like a hierarchical fashion, the supervisor agent will have multiple collaborator agents 1, 2, and 3, and each agent will have access to certain number of tools. So for example, the agent 1 might have access to, let's say, Jira. Okay, agent 2 might have access to, let's say, GitHub. Okay, and so on. So in this way, each agent can have access to different tools, and they can also have access to different types of like memories as well. Okay, so memories in the sense they have access to like different chats, or they have access to like different type of data. Now, based on the type of the user query, the supervisor agent will route the request or orchestrate to different agents. So, if the user asks some questions of some ticket data, let's say, so if they want to know some details about a particular ticket, then the supervisor agent will take this particular query and send it to agent 1, because agent 1 has access to the Jira tools. And in this way, if the based on the user's prompt, the supervisor agent will orchestrate between the different agents, and it will consolidate everything and send back the final response. Okay, so this is how the multi-agent architecture works. And okay, so now we'll see how we can set this up on Amazon Bedrock. Okay, so I have opened up Amazon Bedrock here, and I've gone to the agents menu. Now, in the last video, if you remember, we created one simple agent, and so let's just ignore this for now, and we'll create a brand new agent. All right, and let's just call this the supervisor agent. Okay, and here we're going to enable the multi-agent collaboration. So this option is important if we need our agent to be able to collaborate between different agents. So let's click on the create button. So this will create our supervisor agent. Okay, and for the model, we'll use the Amazon's Nova Pro model, since this supports the multi-agent collaboration. Okay, so for the instructions for the agent, I have added this particular instructions. I've mentioned that it is a supervisor agent and that it will get a user query. And so based on that query, I've asked it to forward the user queries to the appropriate collaborator agents that is underneath it. And I've mentioned that it should not answer the queries by itself. And in case if it does not know the answer to a query, it should just reply with, sorry, you don't have the information with me. I've also, given it some more important instructions to mention that it should not hallucinate, and I've asked it to, send the queries to the collaborations as collaborator agents as necessary, and to summarize and format the responses given by the agents. Okay, so I mentioned some detailed instructions. Let me just do a preliminary save here of the settings we have done now. And okay, so now once this is saved, if you check under the knowledge bases, you'll see that our knowledge base is not added because we are not going to be adding any knowledge base for this supervisor agent. Okay, uh, let's just now create our our collaborator agents as well, so that we can add it all under this multi-agent collaboration. So I'll just go back to agents, and I'm going to be creating a new agent here. Okay, create a new agent, and I'm going to call this child agent 1. Okay, let's just call it like child agent 1. And for this, we won't be enabling the multi-agent collaboration since this is going to be a child agent. Okay, let's click on create. And so here for this child agent, the purpose of this one is that I'm going to enable this child agent to answer some questions about our YouTube channel. So I've created a knowledge base. So I've created a simple knowledge base with the data of our YouTube channel. So here you'll see that It contains our channel description, some details about our subscribers, total views, our recently uploaded videos. So this knowledge base, contains all of that data. Okay, so this is the instructions that I have given for the agent. I have asked it that I've sent it that you will answer all the questions about the YouTube channel Armizone. I've asked it to only answer based on the information that's available in the knowledge base, and I've also mentioned it. It should not answer anything by itself, and also to format the answer in a user-friendly way. All right. Let me just select the model here again, and let me click on Nova Pro. Click on Apply, and scrolling down, let me add the knowledge base here as well. All right. So for the knowledge base, I'm going to add a simple knowledge base, and the so this knowledge base we have to mention like the instructions as well. So I'll just mention that this knowledge base contains data about the YouTube channel Armizone. All right, I'll just mention this. I'll click on add. You must save your agent resource role before adding the knowledge base, right? So let me just save the details as well. Let me copy this, go back to the child agent. Okay, so I need to add back the instructions again. Let me just quickly add it up. Okay, so I've added back the instructions for the agent, and let me just click on save before we try to add our knowledge base. Okay, so now that this is saved, let's go down, click on the knowledge base. I'm going to select our knowledge base, okay, and add back the instructions that it contains some data about our YouTube channel. Let me click on add here. So now this should successfully add our knowledge base to our agent. All right. So I think our child agent is pretty much good to go. Okay, so we just need to now save it one more time so that we can prepare this agent. Okay. Great. So now let's just do a small test here. What is the channel Armizone about? Let's just ask it this question. Okay, great. So now you can see here it's able to answer about like what the channel is about. It's given us a reply. Now our goal is to attach this child agent underneath our supervisor agent. Okay. Okay. So let's navigate back to our supervisor agent. I'll go back to the agents menu, and I'm going to click on the supervisor agent. Okay, and click on the edit in agent builder. Let me scroll down, okay, all the way to the multi-agent collaboration option and click on the edit button here. Here, we have already enabled the multi-agent collaboration, and underneath collaborator configuration, we have two options. One is the supervisor option. So in this option, what it does is the supervisor agent will send the query to the respective collaborator agents. The supervisor agent then will consolidate everything, aggregate everything, and give us a final result. In terms of supervisor with routing, all the supervisor agent will do is that it will route the entire user query to the collaborator agent, and the collaborator agent will be the one to make the final response. In our case, we are going to select the first option, which is the supervisor one, because we want our supervisor to give us back the final response, right? Let's go down and open this agent collaborator tab. Here we can select our collaborator agent. So let me select our child agent one that we just now created, and this agent alias. So there's like one more thing we have to do is that we have to create an alias as well for our agent. So let me just open back the child agent one more time. So let me go to the child agent and click on create alias. Okay, for the alias name, let me just create child agent alias one. Let me click on the create alias button. All right, so our alias is successfully created. Okay, so let's go back to our supervisor agent here, and I'll just like select another agent and come back to the child agent to refresh it. Okay, so you can see our alias is now showing up here. Let's select that. Collaborator name, I'll just give it the same name as uh, the agent name. And for the instructions, here we have to give the instructions on in which scenario this collaborator needs to be invoked, right? So if you see here they mentioned, we recommend that you provide clear specific scenarios. For our use case, it's going to be a simple one. So let me just give the instructions here. Okay, so the instructions that I have given is that this agent will answer all the questions regarding the YouTube channel Armizone. In a real life scenario, you'll be giving a much more detailed prompt, you'll give, see, if you see here, they have mentioned up to 2000 characters. So the more detailed the instructions are, the better it'll be able to orchestrate between everything. All right, and let me click on the save button. Okay, great. Our agents are now saved. So let's go back to our agent builder. We'll go back to our supervisor agent. I think now everything is set for a test drive to see how it all works. We have so before that we can go down to multi-agent collaboration and click on that view collaborators button here. So this will open up a diagrammatic view of how our current architecture looks like. So if we see here, we have one supervisor agent, and this is the instruction that we have given it. Action groups is something that we can attach tools to our particular function. So we can attach lambda functions, so that we can perform some like dynamic queries, call APIs, perform some actions. So we'll be looking into that in the next video. And right now the memory is not enabled, and the guardrails are also not enabled. And underneath a supervisor agent, we have a child agent assigned, and you can see the instructions on which this agent will be called, as well as the child agent's configuration as well will be shown here. All right. So now we can just close this up. Okay, let's just save this agent one more time and prepare this supervisor agent so that we can test this out. Okay, so our agent is now prepared. In the message now, let's type what is Armizone channel about. Okay, let's just ask it this question. And remember that we're going to be asking this with our supervisor agent. Okay, and our supervisor agent does not have any knowledge bases attached to it. Okay, so let's see how it's able to answer now. So it'll just think in the background. It'll collaborate, like send the request to the different collaborator agents, and it'll come up with a response now. Okay, great. You can see now it's able to answer about the channel even when there's no knowledge bases attached. So now to check the detailed instructions on how it did this, we can click on show trace button here. So clicking on show trace now brings up a menu on how our query was sent to the different agents, and which agent took how much amount of time to answer our questions. So you can see here our supervisor agent has also called our child agent one in order to answer the question. All right, and we can go down to orchestration and knowledge base tab here and expand the trace step one here. And if you see here, we'll see the entire thought process on what our agent has thought. So this is the entire instructions on how the agent is behaving. So this is the prompt that's being sent to the supervisor agent. All right, and you can see here, this is the thought process of the agent. I think we'll be able to see a better one here itself. Okay, so this is what the LLM is understanding based on the query. So the user wants to know about the Armizone channel. It identifies that I need to forward this query to the appropriate collaborator agent, which is the child agent one. So it knows that it has to forward the request to our child agent because it specializes in answering questions about the Armizone channel. So now based on this, it will forward the the particular so this is the rationale. So based on the rationale, it will forward the query to the child agent. And so this is the final output that was given to us. Let's just come down to the trace step 2. So this is where we'll see what the child agent was also thinking about. If we scroll down, you will see that I have received the response from child agent 1 about the Armazone channel. I will now summarize and format the response to the user. So this is what the supervisor agent did at the end after it received the answer from the child agent here. It will summarize it and format it and provide us the final result, which was what was displayed on the left side here. So this is a very simple example, but in this similar way, you will be able to add any number of agents here under multi-agent collaboration. Come down, you can add it in a hierarchical way. You can add any number of agents with access to different knowledge bases, access to different tools. So regarding how to add action groups is how you add the tools so that it can call APIs, execute code. We'll be looking at this in the next video where I'll add an action group. We'll create a Lambda function and we'll attach it to this agent so that it can dynamically access some data or perform some calculations. Okay, so thank you for listening to this video. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a lot. And post your feedback in the comments on what you would like to see next, on what I can improve, and if there's any other services that you're interested in looking for. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much again. See you all in the next video. Bye bye.